eyes, booger wise. So whenever we are talking about eye discharge, it can become a little bit of issue or a big issue. So let's take a look what's going on around the eye boogers. Optimally, there are no eye boogers at all. Some doggies tend to have a little, some doggies tend to have quite a lot. Oftentimes there's an underlying cause whenever the doggy has a lot of eye discharge, which gets stuck on the hair and on the skin. So it's in case your doggy has a lot of eye boogers or eye discharge, then it's great to get it checked by a veterinarian. Oftentimes a haircut around the eyes will solve the problem perfectly. Now you can do it yourself, or you can ask your vet to do it, or your groomer. They will be happy to do it. Oftentimes it's only a quick snip of the hairline, off of the hair length by the corner of the eye. So let's see which areas we need to check for eye boogers. Inner corner of the eyes and on the hair around that spot. The outer corner of the eyes, again, and on the hair on that spot, around the eyes. Removing eye boogers. Now that's going to be a little bit different point of view. So first let's take a look how eye boogers look, and then we're going to come back how can we remove eye boogers. So on the top right image, you're going to see a Morkie which had a lot of eye boogers. This is the removed stage. I soaked off the hardened super. It was like hard as a rock, and it was stuck on the, not just on the hair, but very close to the skin. So as you can see, the doggy's skin got really irritated underneath because it did not get enough air around. So we really need to make sure that we keep an eye out for eye boogers, and we remove them before they would go wild and irritate the skin that much. Now on the other doggy below, it's the same dog. On the left side you see the doggy's left eye, and on the right one you see the doggy's, on the left side you see the doggy's right eye, and on the right side you see the doggy's left eye. And though it's the same dog, they can have different amount of eye discharge from one eye comparing to the other. As you can see on the left, it's way trickier than on the right. Now all of these doggies you're gonna see have moms and dads. They live in a household with their families, so they are not stray. So even if you see these images, you might think that, oh my goodness, it's never going to happen to my dog, and I hope it never will. But these doggies are not shelter dogs. They are not doggies who I found on the street or anything. They are clients of mine, and there were times when they needed a little bit of information about how to take care of the doggy, so the doggy will be super comfy. Now I'm picking out, of course, the craziest scenarios I came across, but in case you're not aware, it's good to know about how you can prevent this to go this wild and crazy. On the bottom left one, you see how hard and thick that eye discharge is. It's stuck not just on the hair but also on the skin. On the right one you see a little bit of eye boogers, tiny bunches stuck on the lower eyelashes under the eyes, so that's very easy to soak and remove. Whenever we're talking about removal of eye boogers, we can do it with a flea comb, but we need to make sure that the eye boogers are nice and softened. So for example, in case of the bottom right doggy, then it would be super easy, because whenever we give the doggy a bath, we can just soak that area and just use the flea comb to remove those tiny bunches of eye discharge. On the bottom left side, on the other hand, we really need to take soaking seriously, and it took me about 15 good minutes until I reached the stage when that ginormous mess was soft enough that I was able to trim it off and remove and loosen it up with a flea comb enough to comb it away. So that was one of the trickiest challenges I came across when it comes to eye boogers and eye discharge. So the faster you find them in general, the easier it's gonna become to remove them. And I highly recommend to use a flea comb, because hopefully a metal flea comb, you can get a metal flea comb. That's the best way to do it, because the little pin teeth won't wiggle away whenever it comes to eye boogers or a thicker piece of yuck stuck in there. So metal flea comb will be one of your best ways to get rid of eye boogers. You try to get a small one. I'm going to include a few links about the ones I really like. Try to get a small one so your doggy wouldn't feel like you're trying to cover their face with a ginormous tarp or something, so they will be more cooperative. And I'm going to include a video about how to do the eye booger removal. So there's going to be a separate video coming up about that. A little bit more eye booger information. So we check all of those spots we already talked about, and here you can see, let's go from the top right image. You can see that the doggy's skin got pretty irritated. Now this image is taken from the doggy's right eye, from the right side of the dog, and you can see in the middle of the image the eyelashes. They are diagonal, like as if they were a long line connecting the top left and bottom right corner. So you're gonna see the eyelashes there. That way you can locate the doggy's nose. That's gonna be on the right side, and the doggy's ears and butt area will be on the left side of the image here. So just so you can see what's going on in there, I zoomed in, so it's pretty hard to see how the dog is positioned, so that's why I explained it. On the left side bottom image, you can see the doggy's left eye, and you can see the eye booger developing in the eye. It looks like as if it were a piece of the doggy's gut, really, because it's like twisting and turning all over the place. But you can see how wet the area is. I already trimmed the hair off in the corner, in the inner corner there, so you can see what's going on exactly. But you can see how the skin is a little bit more pink around that spot. It's more wet, so this doggy desperately needed an eye area trim to get rid of those wet spots. On the right side, you can see the same doggy with the other eye, and the area is already cleaned up. The hair is shorter, as you can see. It's not that super fluffy, and it's much more clean. So this is a great way to keep the eyes dry and eye booger free.